Oh, okay.
How are you doing today?
Does that look like really weird?
Yeah, it's kind of it reminds me of that movie. What the hell, Tremors. Kind of
does it?
big. Yeah.
Hello, Jason. How are you today?
Yeah, yeah. I love that movie. That was a great movie.
Do you remember? And anybody watching outside of Michigan will not know the answer to this. But do you remember Saturday afternoons as a kid, Sir Graves Ghastly?
Sir Graves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember
on
when
Channel 50?
Yeah, Channel 50. Halfway through the movie, he would come on and go, and I don't know, he would talk about something, but then you would see a mouth singing. And what it was is it was an upside down face, but you'd see the mouth.
Right. Yeah.
That's all that was, but it was up close to the camera and it looked so bizarre.
Yeah, I remember you're a kid and you're going, what the hell, man?
That's exactly it. Because when I did that, I'm like, God, that looked like Sir Graves Ghastly.
So, and then of course, you know, the Ghoul. I love the Ghoul.
You know, I don't know how I don't remember the Ghoul, but most people remember it.
Oh, the Ghoul was WKBD Channel 50 Saturday night 11:30.
Okay, so Saturday night.
Yeah,
I wasn't a night owl. I guess.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have to go to bed early, but not till I was like a teenager. So that would put me in like 84, 85, 86 when MTV came out. I was Headbangers Ball all day long.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because I'll tell you, the Ghoul, man, the Ghoul is great. The guy was actually from Cleveland, and he did it, I think, in Cleveland too. But
yeah,
the Ghoul was cool, man. Like, you know, he'd light off M80s in the studio, and I mean, you couldn't do the Ghoul today. I love the Ghoul.
You know what? I just noticed something. My lighting is really bad. Hold on one sec.
Okay.
Do you remember after school? Do you remember same channels, but do you remember Ultraman and Johnny Sacco?
I do. Yeah. I wasn't. Yep. But
okay, because I was.
Because you're like 6 years younger than me. It's almost like everything is like in a 5-year increment.
Oh, okay.
When I came home, like when I was it was Speed Racer, man. I had to watch Speed Racer, and yeah, I remember hearing those ones that the two that you just mentioned, but I don't know if I've actually ever seen them.
Yeah, it's absolutely super, super cheesy Japanese anime.
I love that stuff, though.
Right. I'll after the show, I'll send you a clip of it. It started off Ultraman, then after they were half hour, and then Johnny Sacco, and you know, it didn't get any more cheesier than what it was, but because it was all in Japanese, but they put it in English.
Okay,
so you see their lips moving, and they're like completely.
It's all off, yeah. Those kung fu movies, those old kung fu movies.
Oh yes, same thing.
And I love that stuff when I was a kid.
I'm telling you, awesome. Honestly, Jay, when I would fly home, throw the books wherever, boom, the TV goes on because what we have 247 9.
Yeah.
9 because it was 9 was Canadian.
9 was Canadian. Yep,
20,
CBC.
56, 62. It's pretty much
mine was different because I was up because you were down here and see, I was up in Bay City, so ours was like Channel 5, Channel 7, and Channel 2. Yep, 2, 5, and 7.
If you wanted to watch your sports, you had to wait till dinner, and then or you had to get the newspaper to find out who won what. Kids nowadays would go bananas. Oh, they wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, But it was. I mean, looking back on it, though, it was. I mean, it was
great.
Fun,
it was.
We still talk about it 40-some years later,
and I get excited talking about it because those. Now, I'm not going to lie. My dad being a doctor, we were like, middle class, upper class, but we lived a normal life. And I was blessed to be able to have a TV, to be able to come home. Mom was secretary at middle school, so she'd have dinners made. We had dinners where we all sat down. If my dad wasn't there, it was kind of like, wow, Dad's not going to be here for dinner. Oh, okay. It was kind of odd. Or we'd wait.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we have a kitchen table. We've not used one. No, we did one time for, I think it was like either someone's birthday or a holiday. But no, we don't sit down to eat. And it's a lost art of life. And everybody should do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Hey, we had some bets going on last night. Oh shoot, what happened here? Okay. So anybody that's checks out our Facebook page from here on out is going to notice our picks for the day are going to also include the results from the previous night. So we're not going to bore everybody with these posts of picks and results, and then just scattered out through the day. They're all going to be on one page. So when you see the results, you'll see the picks for the day. It'll be organized better. Like, listen, we're new and up and coming. We're tweaking as we go. So we're trying to find better ways of doing things. So
tweaking as we go. I like that.
Tweaking as we go. We're tweaking as we go. All right, that was
we're not meth dealers, or don't you know?
Right. There you go.
It's a great word. Tweaking.
So last night, best bets, we went 2-1. We had our Atlanta -1.5 over Washington. I'll tell you, Washington this year has been a spoiler for a lot. The wins that they have are usually against the really good teams. Go figure. Atlanta lost outright 2-3, but we did have. I love my favorite bets are the yes run first inning and no run first inning. Yes, we had a yes run first inning. Cincy and Pittsburgh, they got a run. And then my favorite was Mitch White, a Toronto pitcher, under 4.5 strikeouts. I had him figured in around 2. He only had 1. So that was a winner chicken dinner. Those are the ones we want you to place your money down on, okay? Player props, not necessarily. They're player props I'll put up that I really like. You can sprinkle money on them if you want. But if they are the best of the best, they will go underneath our best overall bets. So, but I did have 3 player props I liked yesterday, and all 3 did not hit. Justin Verlander decided to have a good outing. I had him under 6.5 strikeouts. He got 8. Michael Lorenz over 1.5 earned runs. He should have gave up a dozen. He gave up 0. Had a great night. And Rich Hill, same thing, over 1.5 earned runs. He gave up 0.
Verlander, man, that guy.
I know. He's been, I'll tell you what, though, because I look at this stuff every single day and I look at everybody's stats as we go. This guy, he does. And when you think he has it, the next outing, nope. Then the next outing, yep. Next outing, nope. So he's really flip-flopping, and I try to stay away from those. But I thought this was a game that I felt he should not hit this number, but he did.
Well, and you're talking about Washington, being the team that's like kind of gotten big wins.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wild card right now. The the Brew Crew, who I've been kind of touting, is tied with Philadelphia for the third and final spot.
No
We
kidding.
play Miami tonight,
Yes,
and
they do.
Philadelphia plays Washington.
Yep.
Tomorrow. So hey, go Washington. Let's get the Brew Crew in, man. Yeah, I tell you, if they make it, I'm gonna order myself a brew. I'm gonna get a Brewers t-shirt because I've always liked the Brewers.
You know what? I was also a big Gorman Thomas fan.
Oh boy, that guy could. Oh.
You don't hear his name, Jay?
Oh, he could. I'll tell you, there was a guy that when he got a hold of a ball, look out, Gorman Thomas.
You know who he reminded me of? A rough version of Greg Luzinski.
Yeah. Yep.
Gorman Thomas looked like he just stepped out of a bar. God, and he was going to beat the
oh man, okay, yeah.
Don't those names, those, you know, we're looking at Aaron Judge making history, and
yeah,
I'm not going to say clean cut. I don't know the right word I want to use, but back in the 80s when you and I were enjoying our sports, when sports were sports, we had different personalities, different visual guys that we just liked. Now, Gorman Thomas, I don't know if you remember, he used to always have a big chew.
And didn't he have like a kind of he had crazy facial hair too, didn't he?
Oh, he had total crazy facial hair, like a handlebar type fuzzy mustache.
He looked like a biker.
I was about to say, he looked like he just got out of a gang and was going to just kick someone's ass. Now, he's a guy, if I'm a pitcher, I'm not hitting him. I would throw
man,
away.
If you hit that guy, man, lights out. You're shuffling.
I would pull a Detroit, Colorado turtle. when what's his name? Lemieux, Claude Lemieux was turtle. Gorman Thomas rushing the mound, I would just go down.
Yeah.
But the Brewers had Ben Ogilvy. They had names that you just
Hey, my favorite. Well, my two favorite guys. Well, okay. My two favorite Brewers guys. And I saw Robin Yount hit a home run in Old Tiger Stadium.
Yep. I think it went over the roof.
And it was a couple years before they moved to Comerica. And then I was like Paul Molitor.
Oh God, great second baseman. I think he played second base, right?
Molitor was a first baseman, I think, but left-handed hitter.
Yep.
Just real smooth hitting guy, but always came up and got the big hit when you needed it.
Yes, he did. But I guess when I think of the Brewers, I think of the uniforms. They had the coolest fucking purple and yellowish type of
uniform. I'm telling you, man. All right, I'm sorry I got us off this, but go Brew Crew, Bob Uecker. I'm down in the front row. I mean, that's shit's classic. But anyway, go Brew Crew. And all right, let's get back to it, brother.
All right. So I've got my picks for tonight, but let's I don't want to do them right now, only because if people are just listening for the picks, they'll listen and then boom, they're gone. So I've got a couple stories here. I don't know if you know an interesting story. Well, I mean, I could save this story for later, but I might as well just talk about it now because there's an NFL game tonight. I don't know if you knew this. But we've got a great game tonight between Cincinnati and
Dolphins.
And the Dolphins.
Up from getting out of that. Hey, it was a good time to be. Was it originally scheduled for Cincinnati or was it supposed to be in Miami? I didn't even think about it. I just thought about that.
Yeah, no, it's in Cincinnati.
Okay. All right. So yeah.
They got out of Dodge quick because of the hurricane.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, Jay, where we want to move to in Flagler Beach. They are they're a very small town, and they have a historical pier that goes out a long way.
I saw the video. The pier's destroyed, isn't it?
Gone. Yep.
I saw that.
It's
Steph
so sad because Jay and I'm thinking
you fished off that.
Oh yeah, we got great pictures on it. It's so sad, and it's weird because the hurricane went over Florida, which should kind of tear it up a little bit, so that way it kind of diminishes. Oh no, it had enough pop in it that St. Augustine is underwater.
Now, I've been to St. Augustine. That's a beautiful, beautiful city.
It's
historic
city. It's one of the oldest cities in the U.S.
It's what
I think it's the oldest. If I
remember from when I was a kid, the forts.
Yes, the fort is underwater right now.
Oh man, wow!
And I think it's crumbling by some of the video. I'm so busy doing the BBS stuff that I was trying to go in between, and I've got friends from Florida sending me videos that I'm just dude. This one is going to be billions. I think the damage
could be really extensive.
Yeah, it's going to be really aggressive this here. But anyway, so get this: as the Dolphins, they headed up to Cincinnati early, and due to the impact of Hurricane Ian, they traveled to Cincinnati, and they were practicing over at the University of Cincinnati. However, during the practice, we have another Spygate situation. Videos from the stadium, not sure who's taking them, was looking down on the field. Whoever was taking the videos, they began to leak out into the public. And while the clips were fairly insignificant, it is a big deal. Quarterback Tua, his health status was in question prior to the game. But I'll tell you what, the video appears that he will be playing. So that makes a big deal if you are betting on tonight's game. Personally, I handicap the game as if he's playing anyway. I'd rather be safe than sorry, because when somebody's in question, I don't mess with that because you just don't know.
Right.
So in addition, as in the case with anything in sports and in life, having access to an opponent's strategy, it's a big-time advantage. If the Bengals got a hold of the clips, they might know what plays to look for, different certain formations. However, it would turn out McDaniel and the Dolphins were one step ahead of the dude that was filming. And he was filming the walkthrough. And this guy was responsible for that leak. According to NFL insider Tom Placerio, after noticing that they were being filmed, Miami ran its practice with way too many players on the field. They were purposely putting players all over the place.
That's brilliant.
So when you watch the videos, there's always 12 men on the field, and they're just in random spots.
Yes, like no formations or anything.
No, and they're all
give away. That's brilliant, man.
It is. So this revelation leaves two options as for what went down. When you watch the videos, Miami ran fake plays, and Miami ran real plays with one or multiple people running fake routes or fake assignments. Wow. So if you're watching the video, you know what? It's not even worth it to Cincinnati.
Hey. So let me ask you this, because I mean, Cincinnati, they were in the Super Bowl last year. Lost to the Rams.
Yep.
If Miami beats them tonight to go undefeated, are they kind of a favorite for the Super Bowl? Maybe.
Absolutely.
After beating Buffalo.
Yeah, I can't see how they're not. The power rankings right now, Miami and Buffalo flip-flopped.
Okay.
So Miami is number one in the league, overall. They are They're the favorite right now as it stands.
Okay, so I just wondered if they do the business tonight.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. But
then you got to look at them and say, hey, these guys they're
for real.
They're legit.
And regardless and this is just my opinion, regardless of what happens tonight, I still truly believe they are the real deal. And I think they are the team to beat. I really, really, truly
I'll
do.
tell you this. I mean, that just, that result last weekend against Buffalo, and if they do it tonight, I mean, it's Miami. Before the season started, I didn't, Miami, with the coaching turmoil from last year. I mean, it's just,
what's his name? Tua. I wasn't sold on him.
I think because of that injury, though, really. I mean, before the injury, I mean, I thought this guy is lights out, but that injury. I mean, I was watching that when that happened, and it, I'm actually surprised he's come back as strong as he has.
Yep. So there's a story coming out of college football here. His name is David Stone. Okay. He's a 4-star defensive tackle. He's coming out of the class of 24. Okay. He has a long way to go in the recruiting process, but the high school junior does not have to make a decision until December of 23 or February of 24. So he's got some time. But despite the lengthy timeline, his recruitment has received a lot of scrutiny lately. In the current NIL, are you familiar with the NIL in college football?
Name, image, likeness.
And it's basically
it's a loophole so you can pay these guys.
Bingo. Basically. That's the fact that Jay just put it as simple as it can be. NIL basically means, hey, we can pay the players. Okay.
Yep.
So this kid, now, whether he's, I don't know if he's just trying to, maybe this is just how he is, but he is not going to let this, you're not going to buy this guy. Okay. In the current NIL of collegiate athletics, it is not legal for a college program or its boosters to offer money in exchange for a commitment. Pay for play is illegal. However, there are legal loopholes, as Jay would put it. As a result, there are a lot of financial deals being signed over the table that often include some under-the-table funny business. Money is always forced into recruiting, especially in college football, but that is the case now more than ever. One 5-star quarterback, widely believed to be the Tennessee commitment, Nico Lamaliva, maybe that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, sounds good. I didn't contribute to that fund because
you didn't. Okay, if anybody's not,
I didn't.
If you ever hear about Tennessee, it's because Jay.
Yeah,
that's his team.
It's my alma mater.
Yep. Well, anyway, Nico signed a deal that is worth up to $8 million. In NIL money and its role in recruiting. It's definitely not a secret. $8 million. Wow. Now, David Stone went out on Twitter and said, NIL will not be the reason I go to a school to play football. So don't make the assumption again that I can be bought. The tweet came after a lot of chatter surrounding his decision in recent weeks. He's an Oklahoma City native, so you'd kind of think he'd stick around home. It's largely favored to end up back home at Oklahoma, Michigan State, Oregon, Oklahoma State, LSU, and Florida. They're in the mix.
And
recently, Texas A&M. Well, Texas A&M's been creeping up that ladder. The Aggies moved even further up Stone's list on Wednesday when 5-star defenseman lineman David Hicks made a somewhat surprising commitment and chose AM over Oklahoma. Hicks and Stone had talked in the past about the idea of playing in Norman, where
wow,
Oklahoma's from. And then the former committed to the Aggies, which left a latter shook.
Yeah, you got 2 5-star guys. They wanting to play together. They're kind of friendly, and now one.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, what's going on? So
yeah,
David, despite the fact that the Aggies have been in on Stone for months now, his interest in playing for A&M has drawn a lot of speculation. The streets got to talking and wrongfully associated his recruitment with money, considered how much is being spent at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Many people, I could see why people are starting to talk. Many people assume that whichever program Stone goes to, the most money will be where he ends up. I guarantee that.
Right. And that, to me, that he's just that's kind of a smokescreen, because everybody's got a price.
Yeah. Stone wants to make this very clear, though. His decision will not come down to the amount of money being floated his way through NIL bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't care. You could be the nicest guy, the most honest guy. Somebody throws, I don't know. I don't know what the going rate for these kids are.
Well, you said $8 million for that dude going to Tennessee, who I never heard of him.
No, and he's actually a 5-star. So $8 million. So let's say $5 million. Somebody says, "Hey, man, here's $5 million. You come to our school."
So basically, the NCAA tried to solve a problem by actually creating another problem.
It's exactly it. It's just, dude, I don't know, man. It's
I mean, what? Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, if you think about it too much, it would drive you crazy. So yeah.
Right.
Know.
So
I don't know, brother.
No, I don't either. It's kind of sad that it's come down to this, but I guess if you're selling jerseys, I don't go and buy jerseys. I don't know, like, if you go to a Michigan game, if you go in to buy a jersey, do they have names on them or no? I would think not. I don't know.
Yeah, because if it did, that would go to that's name, image, likeness. So
right.
If that, maybe they do, and the kids are getting a percentage of that. I'm not sure about that.
I've
never been to a Michigan game. I've never been to the Big House.
No, I've got a story one day I'll tell you about my nightmare at the Big House. And it's one of the reasons why I absolutely can't stand the maize and blue. And there's a lot of reasons.
This. Let's save it though before the
I will.
Michigan
tell you what.
Week.
I'll tell you what.
Mark it down,
Bingo
dude.
bongo. Perfect. That's what I'm talking about, Jay. I got one more story here. And it has to do with your Tennessee Volunteers.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I think I had mixed feelings about this. I think it's cool, but if I'm a Vanderbilt fan, before I even get into this story, Vanderbilt, I think, has got a raw deal. They're in a conference that they stand no chance at. If you're a kid thinking of a college, and you've got, let's just say, LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, blah 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 blah, and Vanderbilt shouldn't even be on your radar. Now there are some football stars that have come out of Vanderbilt, but you don't see it much, Jay.
Right.
And if
and that's the thing. Academically, it's a wonderful school. Vanderbilt is a tough
I'll tell you,
too.
They are one of the best. They're kind of like Northwestern. Northwestern is one of those schools that you may see on the football field not doing well. The kids that graduate out of there, they're sitting pretty. They're going to have great jobs. They're
smart. Vanderbilt hospital. I lived in Nashville for a year. Vanderbilt is cool. They always have good baseball teams too.
Oh, dude, they're always on the 100% correct on that.
So anyway, Vandy.
So anyway, Tennessee has came up with this plan to buy up every single seat at Vanderbilt Stadium. And they're going to create the famous checkerboard.
Oh,
if you have an opportunity out there to check out a Tennessee college football game day stadium view, and pretty soon we'll be able to put these up on our screen.
Yep.
But you would notice it is, I guess you would know, Jay, but I didn't really know of this, but the everybody cooperates in the stadium. They
coordinate their shirts or their colors they're wearing. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
It's a sight to see. So
it is cool.
So Tennessee is on a tear this year.
Undefeated, which that's good.
It is, but let's just face it. They are not going to lose to Vanderbilt this year.
No.
Obviously, it is important not to count your chickens before they hatch, but it would be a shock if the Vols lost to Vandy. Now, in turn, the Tennessee fan base is embarking on a ruthless rivalry mission. Historically, one of the coolest traditions in college football, the checker out is what it's called. Nearly 102,000 fans color coordinate their outfits so that the stadium crowd is split up into a checkered sections of orange and white. When done correctly, it is breathtakingly beautiful. But this year, however, the Volunteers are on the road. Vandy is an extremely bad football team. And there is some positive momentum in Nashville. The Commodores have not won more than 6 games since 2013 and won just 5 combined games in 19, 20, and 21. In addition to the poor on-field record, Vandy football does not generate really any fan base. I guess an example would be what happened not too long ago with Georgia when they went to town. If you look at some of the video of Georgia going to Vandy, there is no Vandy people. There's nothing. Yeah. It's all red. It's tough. If you're a Vanderbilt, I mean, you don't got any home field advantage at all.
You know, and I think the thing that hurt. This is another thing that I've kind of thought about that hurts Vandy is, you know, there's no like. I mean, the campus is kind of integrated into the city, and Nashville's a pretty cosmopolitan city now.
Yep.
So you don't have, you know, when I went to UTK in Knoxville, we were kind of separate from Knoxville. So you had your own little world. And I think most college towns are like that. And I think maybe that hurts Vandy a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, that's a good comment there because I don't know. You would probably know more about Tennessee than I would, but
yeah, it's just you know, Tennessee, like you know, you were at the University, you knew you were on campus. In Vanderbilt, I mean, the campus is there.
Yep,
but it's surrounded by this big city energy, Nashville, and it's just, to me, it never felt like I was on the Vandy campus when I would go through there when I lived down there.
You know, I know it's not off subject, but it's similar to what you're talking about. It's like here in Detroit, Jay, when the Pistons would play.
Yeah.
But they never played in Detroit. They played so far away from Detroit in Auburn Hills, which I'd have to look to see how far. It's got to be an hour, maybe 45-minute drive to Detroit.
Yeah, and you know, we remember when you know the Pistons used to play at Cobo Hall.
Right. They were down there.
I remember watching Bob Lanier, Dave Bing, all those guys. Those old God, who's the other guy? John Mengelt. He was a guard. Yeah. Well, anyway, okay.
Well, even the Lions were playing at the Silverdome, which was in Pontiac.
Yep.
It had nothing to do. So that's kind of, you're right. That's the issue they're running into. So Tennessee, what they're going to do is on their website at their college, they actually have Vanderbilt Stadium seating chart. And they said this year fans are looking to make a statement against their in-state rivals. The Volunteers are looking to not only buy up every ticket, but they are planning to checker the road stadium. So when you look at the sections, and there's with this story from Outlook, we appreciate Outlook for this story. It's a checkered Vanderbilt Stadium, and you pick wherever you pick your seat, that's what color you're going to wear.
Wow.
So if they could pull this off, it would be absolutely demoralizing for Vandy. And of course, that's the intent. The Volunteers have even have a website in place so that they can go on there and get this taken care of. The plan is ruthless, but it is amazing.
And that's the thing. I mean, the drive from Knoxville to Nashville, it's a couple hours. You're changing time zones. I mean, you gain an hour. So, I hope some Vandy fans do come out to support the team. I mean, because, when the team's down, you got to support them.
You do. And it's your school. It's like, come on, guys, get out there and
get out there. And hey, we may not be a great football school, but in 20 years' time, I'll be out earning you. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a great school, Vanderbilt. Great
school. Jay, we got some football tonight. We got some games going on.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I'm excited to see how the Dolphins do.
Well, yeah. Okay. So, this, and we're talking right now about the Cincinnati -3 over Moon over Miami. Do you remember Moon over Miami? Do you know where that came from? Did you ever eat at Denny's?
Oh yeah, the Grand Slam breakfast.
Yeah, and it was called Moon over Miami. It's so stupid. But I used to always look at that and it cracked me up. But yeah, Cincinnati -3 over Miami. This line has moved through a key number after Cincinnati opened as a 2-point favorite. I am still happy, though, to back the Cincinnati Bengals as a 3 to 3.5 point favorites, even though their records tell us a much different story. In my opinion, Miami has been lucky to pick up a few of its wins this season, particularly its comeback win over Baltimore. Because you remember when they played Baltimore, they got like 28 points in the fourth quarter.
It was in Baltimore, and I thought, Lamar. That's the game Lamar Jackson, I think, set the NFL record.
Yep.
They were. Yeah, you're right. They were lucky to win that game.
So they were definitely lucky to win that game. Now here's the thing: Dolphins are dealing with some key injuries, including Tua, even though he was seen practicing. Waddle is the other one. He's dealing with a groin injury and is listed as questionable for the game. Now, Tua could probably play through his back issue, but I could see him coming back down to earth, seeing that he threw. What's that?
No, I'm just agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
And because he threw just 186 yards after throwing 469 at Baltimore.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but what I do know is that they are facing a Cincinnati team that bounced back from a rough start with a blowout win over the Jets last week. Now, Cincinnati's defense is ranked number 9 overall, allowing just 310 yards in total per game. The Bengals have covered the spread in 9 of their last 11 games, including 4 of their last 5 home games. Now, the Dolphins are clearly overrated in this spot following a victory in which they were outgained by nearly 300 yards. Remember this before placing this bet. If you're thinking of Miami +3, you guys got to remember this is a short week for the Dolphins, whose defense.
That's true.
These are the key points right here. Their defense spent over 40 minutes on the field Sunday, over 90 defensive plays in which allowed 31 first downs and almost 500 yards allowed, actually 497 to be exact. Now, from a box score point of view, that final score was the most misleading score you will ever see in an NFL game. Now, after all that is said here, Miami does not have a defensive front to take advantage of Cincinnati's bad offensive line. I feel they will be feeling the after effects of their last game defensively, which makes the Bengals an easy pick on our Bleacher Bum special Thursday night game.
I cannot wait to watch this game.
I know. I'm totally digging it. I've got my prediction on this game. The total is 47. So if you like the total, take the over 47 because I think there's going to be some points scored. But I'm thinking this is going to be a Cincinnati's like 31-24 win over Miami. Now, I'm a minority here, but I'm just telling you that defense of Miami, it's a short turnaround. They played Sunday. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
And yes, Cincinnati played. They are tired. Cincinnati played an average game. Their defense was not out that long on the field. So if you're looking at the two defenses, Miami's defense is going to be feeling the effects, and the NFL players will tell you that it does play a part. These short weeks are pretty freaking brutal. So I just think
it's time to heal.
No, not at all. So I really think
okay. You know what? I cannot wait to see how the game shakes out and to talk tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We should have a lot to talk about.
I can't wait.
So, if you missed our show yesterday, I brought up the BYU game over Utah State.
Oh, yep.
That's a simple. You don't even. If Utah State comes on your radar, stay away. Stay away from the window. Do not go bet on Utah State. It went up to 24.5. You guys are completely safe with that. They're gonna be up 31-0 by halftime, maybe even first quarter. It's gonna be pretty tragic for the Aggies of
it's gonna be a drubbing, isn't it?
I love that word.
Drubbing. It's gonna be a drubbing.
Yep. So now that I've got a new format for our picks, I'd like to, and I don't have a lot of them. If you go to our Facebook site, you'll see I've broke it down to the 3 best Major League Baseball plays of the day. And I also got your 3 props that I do like also. Now, the 3 best bets are the ones you just hammer. Put the money down on it. But I want to go over a couple. Actually, one of them is already completed. We had an early game today, and my friend, is give me a second here. It's the pitcher for the White Sox. We had him. Where is it? I've got new things going on. Oh, here we go. I got new things going. Okay, Lucas Giolito of the White Sox over 4.5 strikeouts. Bam, he hit that. He had I think he had 6 for the day. So one of our best bets already has come through.
All right, good start.
It's a good start. Now, oh shit, I can't wait to get another fucking screen here because it's just I gotta have more computer screens here. All right, so one of your prop plays tonight, Orioles Red Sox. Yes, runs first inning. If anybody knows anything about the hitting conditions at Fenway Park, they're superb. And in this series between the Orioles and Red Sox, there is a lot of runs scored. 22 runs have been scored in each of the first 2 games of this series. We're asking for 1 run in the first inning. It's going to happen tonight. The Orioles are sending out their rookie, Mike Baumann, to close out the series after not pitching throughout all of July and August.
Wow.
He has been thrown back into the rotation, even though he's allowed a first run to the Tigers just 10 days ago, and they're the lowest scoring team in baseball, even though they are playing better. Boston's lineup boasts some of the league's top hitters like Rafael DeVries and Xander Bogaerts. The Red Sox are welcoming back Nathan Eovaldi, even though they essentially have nothing to play for, neither one. He is supposed to be their top pitcher and has not proven it this season. He hasn't pitched in a month and a half, and even when he was healthy, the Orioles took advantage. Anthony Santander previously drove in Cedric Mullins for a first-inning run. That was against Eovaldi. So both of whom are still on the top of the lineup. Given all the scoring that's taking place in this series already, this is a trend we're going to run with. So take the Red Sox, Orioles, run first inning.
All right.
And then we're going to flip it, no run first inning in Tampa and Cleveland tonight. And this is an absolutely ideal situation for an uneventful first inning. Right off the bat, conditions are perfect before either pitcher even takes the mound. There's going to be double-digit winds blowing at Progressive Field in Cleveland. The first pitcher that will do so is Cal Quantrill. We have done a lot of prop plays on this guy. He may not have the name recognition of an ace like a Shane Bieber, but he is more than capable of handling the Rays lineup. And it also helps that Tampa will be without all-star Brandon Lowe. Quantrill hasn't faced the Rays at all this season, but he has shut down some of the top lineups. That would include the American League best Astros and Blue Jays in back-to-back starts, and Ohtani and the Angels just 2 weeks ago. He even kept the league's best Dodgers scoreless in the first inning earlier in the year. Now, Jeffrey Springs, who we also have on our list of bets tonight, he has an ideal matchup. There's no denying that Indians. The Guardians have come up strong as of late, which helped them clinch the AL Central. However, they are terrible against lefties. They have the lowest OPS against their left-handed pitching this year. Springs has proven to be a great addition to the Rays rotation, and he's also been even stronger of late. This month alone, he's held the Yankees, Red Sox, Rangers, Blue Jays twice, scoreless in the first inning. He kept the Guardians scoreless when he faced them earlier this year. He will do it again tonight.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Guardians.
Now
I don't like that name.
I don't either, man. I don't either.
Guardians.
Your best bets tonight. I got 3 of them, guys. Right. First one will actually be your last game of the evening. San Francisco -1.5 over Colorado. Now, Colorado's are polishing off their 3-game series tonight. Both teams, unfortunately, are well out of the playoffs, but you wouldn't know it the way the Giants have been playing lately. Giants have won 7 out of 8 games heading into last night. However, the Rockies are limping towards the finish line. They have lost 7 out of their last 8 games. The Rockies will hand the ball to Ryan Feltner, and he is he has sucked all year, going 3-8, 6.15 ERA, 1.43 WHIP. He's ever since he's become part of that starting rotation. Early in August, he is split times between the minors and being called up to the major leagues. Feltner hasn't carried under a 6.0 ERA at all this year. In August, he finished right on the nose, right on 6. Wow. And he currently has 6.38 ERA in September. Now, the Giants will be going with their ace, Carlos Rodon, and I love this guy, man. He has been solid, going 13-8. in 30 starts, 2.98 ERA, 1.05 WHIP. Even though he's coming off a rough start in his last game, he is still having a productive month with a 2.61 ERA and a 1.02 WHIP in September. This is night and day, guys. Your pitchers are just I don't even know what to say about it. It's just it's David and Goliath here. So take the Giants run line minus 1.5 over the Rockies. You're almost getting a buck for a buck. You can't beat it. Minus 105. Now, I just got done talking about Jeffrey Springs. His strikeout number tonight is really low, and the number minus 112 is really nice. In his last 10 games, Jay, he has thrown over 5 strike, and we just need him to throw 5 strikeouts or more. He has thrown 5 strikeouts or more in 8 of his last 10 games. Now, they're facing Cleveland. He pitched once against them, and he had 5 strikeouts that game. He gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk. But again, he had 5 strikeouts, so he hit that number. Now, Tampa, and this is, to me, this is the key here. These are 2 teams. They're going to go at it, dude. Tampa is only a half game out of the wild card race, and Cleveland is sitting in the number 1 spot for the first wild card team. So what makes this player prop just pop for me is that these 2 teams are going to go ape shit on each other.
It's kind of a statement game for, possibly facing each other. I mean,
well, absolutely. And I wouldn't be shocked if we see this like early in the playoffs, man. And I think it's going to be and you're looking at 2 of the hot hitter or the hot pitchers here. Now,
you're looking at like a 1-0, 2-0 shutout.
Yeah, this is going to be really low scoring.
Wow.
So I did some extra digging on this prop. I went back as far as I could go to see where this number is going to be hit. So what I came up with is if he pitches 5 innings or more, he has hit over 4.5 strikeouts 15 out of 16 times.
Wow.
So obviously what we're hoping for is Springs stays in there long enough to get these 5 strikeouts. But I went through all his games, and he is pitching mostly the last 10 games. He's mostly pitching between 5 and 7, about 6 and 7 innings. So this is a game they've got to have. They got to make a statement here. If Springs is hot, he's going to stay in. So to get him over 4.5 strikeouts, bingo. Absolutely love it. And for our last best bet of the night, this is kind of a no-brainer. It's kind of a I don't know what you want to call it. It's kind of like an obvious pick. But we got the Angels minus 1.5 over Oakland. Listen, we know neither team they're done, but they're wrapping up a 3-game series, and they have nothing left to play for. But it's Ohtani who's on the mound, and this guy, it doesn't matter what they're playing for. This guy, he comes from Japan. The guy, it's just they could be playing. They could have no wins for the season. This guy's going to go out and play like it's a World Series game. It's just how he does it. He's their ace. He brings a different type of excitement and energy to the team every time he takes the mound. And that's why the Angels are going to have a huge edge in this matchup. Ohtani has posted a 2.47 ERA this season for a 14-8 record. He's made 2 starts against the A's this year in which he surrendered a combined 2 runs in 11 innings. He's been dominant all season long. He's shown it with both matchups against Oakland, and he's going up against Cole Irvin, who I was on his bandwagon early in the season.
Cole Irvin.
Yeah,
he sounds like a NASCAR driver. Cole Irvin.
Oh, it totally is. Totally. Number 55, Cole Irvin.
Country singer.
Actually,
ladies and gentlemen, Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 45, Cole Irvin.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh, hellfire, man.
And
Thursday
I
night, get loose. Get loose,
and
people.
I don't even do drugs. Isn't that crazy? So, to wrap this up, Cole Irvin he sucks. He's 9-12, 4.05. However, he hasn't been particularly dominant, and he's a completely different pitcher on the road. He has a 5.17 ERA compared to 3.25 at home. He has some success against the Angels this season, but the Angels should put together a solid game plan and prepare for the arsenal of pitches.
That's nice.
He's going to be throwing an arsenal of pitches that aren't overwhelming. This game, even though it means nothing to either team, Ohtani wants to finish strong if he wants a chance at that MVP award. Now, I think Aaron Judge, I think it's almost a slam dunk, but you just don't know.
Well, it's got to be Judge. Who's the most valuable to the team, and what are the teams doing?
And that's what it comes down to. Angels, but
I mean, Ohtani is like he's like a once in a century type player.
He is, but you know what? When you look at, it's hard to say most valuable player. You look at the team, obviously Angels not going, Yankees are going.
Right.
But if you got to take that player and take him off the team, this is kind of how I look at it. It's probably completely wrong. But so you take Ohtani off the team. What the hell do the Angels have? You got Trout. They got a couple players, but Ohtani brings you a bat. He gives you, he's their best pitcher. And you could argue he's one of their best hitters. Now, Judge, he's going to get you home runs.
Right.
And that's the problem. Everybody loves the home run.
Right. Well, that's it. But that's always been based.
I know. So I guess I look at it as if you took each one off the team, where are they going to be? I would think Yankees are going to be in a much better situation. But because they're going to play,
if the Yankees had Ohtani, good point. Wow, yeah. Lights out.
But you're right, though. You know, the Yankees are going to the playoffs. Probably they might. I don't. I'll tell you, the American League's it's going to be tough to call the playoffs this year.
You're going to really have to do your homework, buddy.
I know. I'm already working on it. I'll tell you, St. Louis is always the monkey wrench, man.
Oh, you can never count those guys out.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh man,
that's kind of. What's that?
Now St. Louis's AAA clubs in Memphis.
I did not know that.
You get the Memphis Redbirds. They play at AutoZone Stadium. It's right downtown. Beautiful.
So the Red. Okay.
Beautiful minor league park. We've been there, and I'll tell you what. We were the kids on spring break, and great. I could retire in Memphis and get season tickets there and be happy.
Could you be a Grizzlies fan?
No, I don't. I'm always a Pistons fan, man.
I know. Well, so those are your best bets of the night. We've got Tampa, Cleveland, no run first inning. We got San Fran -1.5 over Colorado. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was those are okay. And then with Jeffrey Springs over 4.5 strikeouts. And then to wrap it up, the Angels -1.5 over Oakland. I got 3 leans for you guys to think about. San Diego money line over the Dodgers plus money. Seattle and Texas under 7.5. And then I like San Francisco and Colorado over 3.5 runs in the first 5 innings. So those are your leans. And those are your bets for the night.
All right.
So, just a shout out to everyone who's watching. We're throwing around some ideas for a bracket tournament, thanks to a really good friend of mine, Mr. Jeff Kugelman, who I hope is watching. He shot over this idea. He shot over this idea yesterday, and I sometimes when somebody comes up with an idea and it's so good that you're like, as soon as you like stop talking and you get off,
you go, I got to run with this. We got to run with this.
Oh, we're going to run with this.
That's the thing. You say, man, why didn't we think of this? But Jeff Kugelman did. So
yeah, Jeff knocked it out of the park, gave us some ideas. We're just trying to I got to make sure that it's legal, which so far it is legal. But I'm going to have to put together like rules for this, but be ready for all sports, bracket, streams, gaming, streaming, and it'll only be through Bleacher Bum Sports. It's gonna be a ride, dude. I'm excited about it. I can't wait till we put it together. Hey, that's where we're at.
Hey, do you have a gaming system?
I do have a PlayStation 4. I don't know honestly anything about other than taking it out, hooking it up, and playing it on the TV. I don't know shit about streaming, except we're learning.
Like we talked about earlier in the podcast, I think it's the generation thing is every 5 years, because I'm not a gamer per se, but when I was a kid growing up, you had Aladdin's Castle arcade.
Oh,
you had pinball, you had video games, like the newest video games.
Yes.
And I love that kind of stuff, but like to just sit down at home and do it, there's just something about going into Aladdin's Castle with a pocket full of quarters and boom.
Well, you mentioned pinball. I don't care what kind of pinball game it is. I've always just loved playing pinball.
Oh, I love it too, buddy.
I don't know what it is about it. It's just a good time.
Yeah, I'll tell you a lot of my good memories of a Saturday was spent, go to Camelot, buy an album. You got some quarters left over. Go to Aladdin's, get a hot sandwich.
Camelot music. Oh my God.
Yeah. So
great call on Camelot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, tomorrow, we will have our results. We will have a breakdown of our Friday night college games, and we will start breaking down Saturday and Sunday. But I'm in town this weekend, so I'm going to put together a show for Saturday and Sunday. Help us grow, guys. Hit the like and subscribe. Please hit the like and subscribe. Get the word out. We got some cool stuff coming up. We want you to be part of it. Jay?
Man. Yeah.
Till tomorrow.
Hey, keep everything loose, people. Keep it loose.
Win some money tonight. Don't bet stupid. Just bet $5 a game. Don't get stupid.
Always remember that.
Always pay your mortgage.
Pay your mortgage, pay your bills, kiss your wife, and then say, I got to drop $5 on this game.
I got to drop $10 on this game? $5
BYU.
All right, BYU.
2 units tonight, folks. 2 units. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, later. Love you guys.